Hey guys, welcome to Smack Talk Wrestling Reviews. I'm your host, Boise, and let's get on with, from now on, Monday Night Rollins review. So we started off the show with Roman Reigns cutting a promo stating he was not happy that pretty much Jinder Mahal got involved in his match last week. Doesn't really matter. Kurt Angle comes out, pretty much states, look, I've talked to pretty much Stephanie. She says you're not going to get another chance. Oh, boo-hoo, Roman wasn't happy. He wanted to be put into the triple threat match that Jinder was put into, so he could finally get his hands on Jinder and be added to the Money in the Bank match. Pretty much, Kurt went, no, it's bad for business. You've had your opportunities. Jinder's got his. Get over it. And Roman says, well, if that's the case, I'm not angry with you, Kurt. I'm just going to take it out on Jinder. And he pretty much went backstage and beat the crap out of Jinder Mahal. So, yeah, Roman Reigns, the babyface that Vince is trying to push on everyone, attacked Jinder Mahal into, backstage, beat the crap out of him. And he expects people to cheer for him. Pretty much, Roman was booed out of the building, and we knew this was going to happen last week when I said, well, that's exactly what's going to happen. Jinder's going to get big pops from the crowd now, and Roman's just going to get absolutely booed, and that's what we got. For the start of the show, it was okay, nothing very special. It's a very typical Roman Reigns promo. I'm giving this a 5 out of 10 average. So the first match of the night was Monday Night Rollins taking on KO Kevin Owens for the Intercontinental Championship. This is the Open Challenge match, and my God, I've got to give the guys props. This is the thing, right? This just absolutely shows where Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins are two of the best wrestlers in the company, and yet I just don't understand how they are not being pushed as much as they possibly should be. It was a fantastic match for me from start to finish. Yes, there were some bits which didn't look as smooth as it could have done, but for me it was a very, very strong match, and for me it was the match of the night. Seth was absolutely brilliant throughout the night. Again, MVP of Raw. You just put him out there, let him keep doing these open challenges. It gets the fans excited. For me, this is going to get an 8 out of 10 again. Excelente it's going to get as well. So, fantastic. Kevin Owens, brilliant. The next match we had was a qualification match for the Money in the Bank suitcase, the men's match. And it was Bobby Roode taking on No Way Jose and Baron Corbin. And for me, the first thing I thought was, wow, this is a very heavy mid-card match and the first thing I was thinking is either going to be Baron Corbin or Bobby Roode, depending on how they want to book it. Bobby Roode got the win. For me, it was very, very messy. For a match, triple threat matches always have that thing. They are very messy. You can't really state them as, fantastic matches because it's very difficult to get a brilliant match out of a triple threat. But I think the guys actually did a really good performance. No Way Jose took the pin. So again, they're saving Baron Corbin, but No Way Jose, I'm glad he's getting these type of opportunities and they're not just chucking him in. But he's definitely becoming the mid-card jobber. And I just hope that, he can get some more wins sooner rather than later. For me, it was, okay. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Okay. Next up, we had the hottest new tag team, the B Team. This all started off because Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas went to Kurt Angle and went, we want to challenge Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy for the Raw Tag Team titles. And Kurt pretty much stated exactly like everyone else, you've not ever won a tag team match. And then went, hold on, the Miztourage might have never won a match, but we're a whole new team. We're the A-Team. And then he was like, no, you can't use that name. It was a TV show, even it was a crappy film. You didn't say crappy film, I added that bit, but you can't use that. How about the B-Team? And he went, That's just stupid. And B stands for best. I thought it was brilliant. They took on Breezango, a good team to take on, and they won. Yes, I'm disappointed Breezango got a loss on Raw. They've only had like 2 matches, won one, lost one, but you know, it's the B team. They are the next big team in my eyes. They are fantastic. I want one of those shirts. I want the B shirt. I want it now. It was good. For me, very entertaining, very fun. And Curtis Axel's face after they got the victory just said it all. We won. Was just brilliant. So for me, I'm giving this a 7 out of 10 and a gold star above the B team. They deserve it. Next up, we had a 6-woman tag team match. And what can I really say about it? The faces won. You had Sasha Banks, Natalya, and Ember Moon on the face team taking on the Riotts. The match had no real story to it, and it was just a throwaway match. Don't get me wrong, it was a good match. All women performed well, but there's nothing to it. It was just one of those matches I think they needed to put together, and it did what it needed to do. I can't really give it a marking, really. I'll give it a 5 out of 10. But it's the match itself was better than that. It was just because there's nothing towards it. There's no story. It's not going to the Money in the Bank match. It was just there for a tag team match. I can't really give it anything else. Next up, we had the Raw Tag Team Champions, Woken Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt taking on the Revival. And we already know when you say, the tag team champions are taking on the Revival, you kind of already know that the Revival have already lost. And that's a shame. They're the jobbers now of the Raw Tag Team division. And it just feels such an absolute win. They had a little bit of momentum when they teamed up with Baron Corbin, got a win. And we thought, now they can start building them back up a little bit by bit. No, we're just going to job them out to, Matt and Bray. Oh, okay. And that was it. Again, a technically sound match from the Revival, but you expect that from them. And Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy have a very great it's a good chemistry, and the crowd really do enjoy it, and they love doing that wonderful thing, which is, the fans love that. But I'm just disappointed that the Revival have now been just pretty much decided they're going to be jobbers. So for me, I'm giving this a 3 out of 10, mainly because the Revival lost and they need some momentum. But Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy were entertaining, so, it does what I needed to do for that. Next up, we had a bit of a weird little promo near the end of the show, and it was Sami Zayn talking about Bobby Lashley and pretty much stating that he's going to show the world who the real Bobby Lashley is, because he got in touch with Bobby Lashley's sisters after he did that touching family interview thing with Renee Young last week. And he's going to show the world exactly what type of person he is after he found them on Facebook. So I've got a feeling these are not going to be Bobby Lashley's sisters. They're going to be people with the same last names. And they're just going to go, no, we're not actually related to him. But yeah, it's a funny segment. The crowd were just enjoying having Sami in the ring. He couldn't really perform. He didn't do anything, but the crowd just absolutely loved having Sami in the ring. So I can't, how can I give this? I can't give this promo marking. Just wait for next week. I'll give it a mark, from that. Next up, we had the women's triple threat match for the Money in the Bank qualification, and that was Bayley, Mickie James, and Alexa Bliss. Now we had a bit of a backstage segment where Sasha Banks came out to see Bayley and wished her luck in her match. Hopefully this is a bit of a swerve and we'll see Bayley versus Sasha properly, with one of them turning heel. But this is a good way of turning the fans thinking, they're going to be friends again. So hopefully this does work in that favour. The match itself was fine. Again, triple threat matches for me always have a bit of a problem, is they're very chaotic. You can't they can be really good, but when there's a lot going on, you kind of it takes away from storytelling. And for me, Alexa Bliss, Mickie James teaming up to take on Bayley was a basic heels versus babyface situation where the babyface was outnumbered. Of course, usually WWE likes to swerve a little bit and give the babyface the victory, but this time round, no, it didn't happen. Alexa Bliss did get the win. She did pin Bayley again, but it was interesting to see Bayley trying to outdo the heels in this match. It really worked on her favour, and it built Bayley up a slightly better story and made her look strong as well in the match. I think everyone came off better, apart from Mickie James in this match. But adding Alexa Bliss now and Charlotte and Ember Moon into the Women's Money in the Bank match is already looking really stacked. Can't wait to see who else is added. For me, the match itself is going to get a 7 out of 10. Very well put together. And like I said, the only one who didn't look strong coming out was probably Mickie James. Next up, we did have a tag team match where it was Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre taking on Braun Strowman and Finn Balor. Both Finn and Braun have already qualified for the Money in the Bank suitcase match, and Ziggler and Dolph are one of the most dominant team as a tag team, so this was going to be quite interesting. And everyone wanted to see Drew versus Braun, and we didn't get it. WWE was really smart on this. They interacted a few times in the ring, but they didn't allow them to go full on fighting. It was usually Dolph taking on Finn, or Drew taking on Finn, or Ziggler taking on Braun, and that really did work. There was a bit of funny bits as well where Braun picked up Finn, used him on top of Dolph, and then Finn looked at him really confused and went, "Get up, you're fine." And I was like, huh. I was scared for Finn for that bit. But yeah, again, a tag team match like this, just put together, there's not really much any story to it, but giving Dolph and Drew the win is a big thing. That both Finn Balor and Braun Strowman are the two of the biggest names in Raw right now, and allowing them to get the win over those two is great momentum for Drew and Dolph Ziggler. They're going to really be a dominant team, I reckon, sooner rather than later. For me, this is going to get a 6 out of 10 because there's nothing towards it. It's not going to build up to anything. It was just a tag team match, and it was awesome that WWE kept Drew and Braun Strowman separated, because let's be honest, I could see that being a match sooner rather than later. And finally, this takes us to our main event, which is a triple threat match, which was supposed to be Jinder Mahal versus Bobby Lashley versus Elias. But things did change. As I said, Roman Reigns did attack Jinder Mahal at the start of the night and beat the crap out of him. When Jinder was getting ready to get ready for his match, Roman Reigns speared him through a wall. That meant Jinder was no way going to be taking part in this, and Kurt Angle had to find a replacement. It sounded like he was going to call someone in, but Stephanie McMahon already decided on the replacement, and that was Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens had rang Stephanie after his loss against Seth Rollins, and she agreed to put him in the match. And to be honest, a good choice. KO had a good night against Seth, and he had a decent match in this one as well. So for me, Monday Night Raw was more like Monday Night Owens for a while. He was for the night, he had to be the MVP player, and he did really well. I think he held the show together. And Bobby Lashley and Elias had a really good bit. Elias tried to play his guitar. Kevin Owens wasn't going to allow that, interrupted it. And there was a lot, again, this was very, very chaotic. And again, triple threat matches always have this situation where you're not going to get a story from it. But for me, okay match. Kevin Owens got the win thanks to the help of Sami Zayn interfering, taking out Bobby Lashley. Elias was already taken out by Bobby Lashley. Frog's splash on to Elias. KO gets the win. He is now qualified for Money in the Bank. Can't wait, because I think that's going to be awesome. Plus, I think Sami's going to get involved somehow. Just an absolute, for me, I've got to give this a 6 out of 10. There was a lot going on, but some of the bits which were good, like Elias trying to play his guitar during the match. absolutely brilliant. But a good main event, very good main event. And there you go, guys, that was Raw for this week. And pretty much it was very stacked for matches. Like every match, there wasn't a lot of singles matches at all. Was there even one? One, yeah, the Intercontinental Championship match was the only singles match we had last night on Raw. Everything else was either triple threats or tag team matches or 6-woman it was for every superstar in the ring. And for me, it took away quite a lot because there's not a lot of stories unless they're in the tag team division. It takes away a lot. But for me, the highlights were Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, and the B team. Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas were absolutely brilliant last night. But for the rest of the show, it was fine. It was a mediocre show. It wasn't mediocre. I think the fans really lifted it up, but it was definitely like a 6 out of 10 type of show. But there you go, guys. That's my opinion. That's my review of Raw this week. What did you guys think of Raw this week? Did you think it was good? Did you think it was okay? Do you think it was crap? Leave it in the comments below, guys. And if you like my videos, please like and subscribe to the channel. I'm at Boise88. You can follow the channel itself at Smack Talk YouTube. That's you and Tube. And I'll see you guys next time on Smack Talk Wrestling Reviews.